Hello guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is One Oyaje. Thank you so much for subscribing. We're almost getting to 100 subscribers already. I'm so happy. Thank you guys for the review from my last video. That was so well. I got very good reviews. I got some reviews on things I need to do better, which I will do better moving forward. Thank you guys so much for engaging that video. That video has had so many views right now, and I'm so grateful. Thank you guys so much. I love you all. This video here is just about my experience and my personal opinion. It has nothing to do with the official Canada website. It has nothing to do with the official processes of going to Canada. I'm just sharing my experience and what I feel, in my opinion, you could do better to help you gain admission to Canada. So today is 30th of September 2022, and this is exactly a year I was rejected my visa to Canada. So 30th of September 2021, my visa application to Canada was rejected, and trust me, that day was I had to write IELTS. Yes, I didn't want to be one of those people that, oh, because you don't have IELTS, you're not going. I studied for IELTS, and because I was applying to a school, I wanted to go through schooling, and I wrote IELTS sometime in February. Yes, my result came out in March. I started the visa application sometime in May, and I officially applied for the visa in June. Trust me, nobody refreshes their email like someone expecting a visa or a job. Those two things, because I've been in that situation before. If you're expecting a job, if you're expecting a visa, nobody refreshes their emails more than those two people. I refresh my emails like every second for 4 months to get a rejection. Trust me, I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know. I felt numb. You know, when you lose somebody, I've lost people in the past, so I know when you lose someone, you feel that numb feeling before you start feeling the pain eventually. That was what I went through. I don't wish that for my worst enemy. I was on a call with my husband. We're dating as of the time when I got the email, and I didn't necessarily understand what the email was like. And then I was like, Canada sent me an email. Do you want to help me check? Because I've checked it, but I don't necessarily understand. It was a FaceTime call. And then he was like, babe, your visa got rejected. The first thing that came out of my mouth was, thank you, Jesus. I wish he was here to confirm that. I just kept saying, thank you, Jesus. Because in my head, I was numb. I didn't know what to do. But I felt like, for this not to have worked, God had a better plan for me. Now I was working. One of the tailors came in and I was like, Auntie Esther, something. And I was like, please, give me some time. I need some time. Because you know when you're doing visa things, you don't necessarily tell people. You're just coding, you know. I was like, please give me some time. And then that one went out and probably went to go and tell one of them that, you'd be like, see, madam, something they have, you know. The second one came in, I was like, you know when they say, excuse me, I know it's a lie. They just want to come and peep and see what's going on. Madam, I said, please give me some time. That one said, went to go and confirm. Then the third one came. When the third one came, the way I screamed. My husband hates it when I shout, but that day, he lets me shout. The way I screamed that day, so unprofessional. I screamed. I said, can't they please leave me? And immediately I knew I was not in the right frame of mind. I just sent my boss a message. I said, I have some family emergencies. I just need to leave. She said, okay, take the day off. And I just booked Uber, jejely. He said the Uber. I couldn't even cry. I called my middle elder sister. If I called my elder sister at first, she said, don't worry. If you want to cry, cry. Anything you want to do. I know you've put in so much into this visa process, and however it is you're feeling right now, allow yourself feel that way. For me, when I'm praying and I'm hoping so much for something, the only way I can feel better about that is that I keep telling God that, God, I know you will do this for me. But if by chance, at any point in time, this thing doesn't come the way I want it, it's because I know that you have a better plan for me. I might not know it at that time, but eventually you would do it, and I would see that, oh, if only I knew this was what you were planning for me, I won't be disturbed. In fact, my friend Dorcas just kept stylishly telling me that, Esther, try UK now, try, because she had gone through Canada visa application process. The person got the visa, but she knew what efforts were put into getting that visa, and she knew that I didn't have it. So Dorcas is one of those people that will not necessarily come out straight and tell you, hit the bluntly tell you so, because she's someone that is very, very thoughtful. She doesn't want to give you something too bad and you go and feel bad about yourself. So there's a way she quotes it and tells you in a very nice way. So Dorcas one of those people that were insulting you. No one knows that she didn't insult you. Dorcas, yeah. So she was stylishly telling me, but I had so much faith, and trust me, that faith has gotten me this far. I had so much faith in God that my story will be different. It might not have worked for other people. I might not have all the qualifications, but my own will work. That was the faith I had. Now, trust me, if you are one of those people that have that faith, go ahead with it. Don't stop. But if you don't get the faith, your own, they shake like Nepal lights. Carry wahala, leave Canada. Eh? The reason for me being rejected was my immigration officer said, he's not convinced, he or she is not convinced that I'll return back to Nigeria after my studies. And that was how my visa got rejected. You're not convinced. I'm not convinced you reach Avi. There are a couple of requirements you need to apply for a Canadian visa. I'm talking based on the research I did in the past when I was applying for my visa, because I'm one of those people that I don't use agents, because I feel like you don't need them. You just need to read in between the lines. The thing the agent is telling you is in between the lines. Just read it. You will get this information. And secondly, to be honest, I don't have money. So I'm not one of those people that want to pay agent 500k to run something. I prefer to read in between the lines, get all the details, run it, and then save that 500 to do something else with. If you're applying for a Canadian visa, student visa, I don't know about any other type of visa, don't have money, there's no point going ahead. See, forget what anybody tells you. If you're trying to jackpot and you don't have money, or you don't know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that has money that will dash you money, or will borrow you money, or whatever it is, it's not for you. Just forget about it. This one is not, well, prayer can work, because what God cannot do does not exist. But on a more general terms, based on their criteria, if you don't have money, stay away from Canada. Like, just go away. You don't need anything. Just leave it. You just end up being so stressed. You just end up doing so much, and at the end of the day, you end up being disappointed. That was my story. Yes, going to Canada, you have a lot. Number one, Canada needs you to prove to them that you need to come back to Nigeria after you had finished your academic, whatever it is you're going there to do, academic pursuits. After you've gotten your certification, they need to be sure that you're going to come back to Nigeria. Now, how can you prove that you're going to come back to Nigeria? Because first, you have to have a crazy amount of money. I think it's around 20 million in your account for a period of maybe 3 to 6 months. You need to have landed properties. You need to have ties back home. You need to have like a good paying job that is giving you referencing and saying that, oh, this girl has worked with us for a period of time and we're maintaining this position for her to go and further her studies and come back. Or it could even be a new job that you'll be applying to, and they'll give you the offer and say, when you come back from your master's, you're going to maintain this job. Like, they just need you to be comfortable, because Canada student visa are looking for students that will go to Canada, gain the knowledge, and come back to their home country. They're not looking for people that will jackpot and loss. So you need to convince them beyond reasonable doubt that this visa that they are giving you, when you enter Canada, you will still come back. So these things are like things that they know that, oh, this person is basically going to come back to his or her home country after their academics is over. Then you can go for the application, and even at that, trust me, it is still a 50-50. You might get it, you might not get it. The visa application process is not so expensive. You just get to pay for visa. I think it was barely around 100 and something Canadian dollars, right? If I'm not mistaken. And then biometrics and everything. You don't even get to do medicals until your visa is out. Yeah, you basically don't even need to pay fees. You know, if you're coming to UK, you basically need to pay fees to get cars. In Canada, quote or unquote, you don't necessarily need to do that, right? They just need you to know. They just need to be sure that you have the funds to do that. They need to be sure that you have your accommodation sorted out. So, but because people try to get like ways so to prove to these people that, oh, we are comfortable, we are okay, most times you go ahead to make your fees payment. I paid my fees, and then you go ahead to even arrange your accommodation, just so to show these people that, see, I get this money, I'm comfortable, like I can do this thing. Now, I had someone volunteer to sponsor the trip. Now, the person was not paying my fees. I paid my fees myself, but the person stood in for sponsorship. Like, if this lady faces any difficulties at any point, I am capable. And the person gave me their account details, account statement with a lot of money inside. So I felt like that one was going to suffice, because I didn't have the money, but someone else had the money, and the person went to the court. Went to the court to swear an affidavit that I know this person from so and so place, and I am willing to stand in on her behalf if anything goes wrong. But that didn't necessarily work because the visa still got rejected, right? So obviously it didn't work. So what I learned from that is that this money has to be in your personal account. If you're a young person, let's say in your early 20s, you're going, then fine, maybe family can actually sponsor you. I had family, but I got rejected. Probably family can sponsor you, and then let's say your dad brings out his assets, pays the fees and all of those things. But if you're already hitting your 30s, in developed environments, people start making money as early as 16, if I'm right. So by the time you get to 25, 26, 27, you probably has had a lot of work experience. You could basically afford to pay your tuition fee, or maybe have student loans or stuff like that. Back home where we come from, at 30, someone is still in his father's house. Lady still in her father's house. You get, so we don't have those. So I feel like the developed environment doesn't necessarily understand how a 30-year-old woman would say she doesn't have money and someone else is coming in to sponsor. That is how I see it. It might not be true, but that is how I saw it, because my sponsor had the money, the landed properties, all of those things, and I had a job bringing me back, and I still had a couple of change in my account, because if you're doing visa processing, you're supposed to have at least small money. I had a couple of change in my account that I felt like was enough for them to grant me this visa, but I wasn't. The only thing I said to myself was that probably the age, because I was already 30, and then you're 30 going for your masters and someone else is coming in to sponsor you. That means you're probably not even a serious person on your own, you get. So I felt that was the reason that visa got rejected. So if you're one of those persons that is like me, you don't have money, you don't have all of those things, if you believe, because trust me, what God cannot do really does not exist. He will do it for you. I'll be posting another video after this one. It's to backtrack. I made that video on the 27th of September. Trust me, I said this YouTube channel has been a long time coming. I make a lot of videos. I made that video on the 27th of September 2021, shortly before my visa got rejected. And it was basically around the same line with my visa application, just saying that God has a better plan for you. That's how it has worked for me. I'm in a better place right now, and I still went through the same process again. The only thing I learned from Canada was that when I got rejected from Canada and I channeled that energy back into UK, it was faster for me, because at that point I already knew the mistakes I made and I was not going to make them again. I already had all my documents in check, so I just needed to just transfer that energy. I went to UK, to Canada, sorry. I decided to transfer it back to UK, and within a couple of months, it was still a bit stressful. I'll still put a video up about that. I was able to get my UK visa, and I'm in UK now and I'm studying as well. So basically, what I would say, my personal opinion is that if you don't have any of those things I've listed out, which is money, properties in Nigeria, a job offer, any of those three things, if you don't have them in excess, I think you should channel your energy into something else and avoid yourself the headache. Avoid yourself the heartbreak. Avoid yourself the tears. Avoid yourself the prayer points. Avoid all of those things and just stay away. Re-strategize, and then you can reapply. Please show me love. Continue liking, sharing, subscribing to my YouTube channel, because trust me, I have a whole lot that I want to share. My DIY will come in much later in my YouTube journey, because I presently don't have enough space to do my sewing yet, so it just might come in much later. But for now, I have so much to share. On today's note, have a nice one. Bye.